It's hard to believe how fast the 2012 DTM season has come to an end. Welcome to the finale in Hockenheim, the track where it all began. On Sunday, when the race director mounts this podium and waves the checkered flag, we'll know the name of the new champion. We'll cover it all here on Audi TV, together with this. Today on Audi TV, our review of the 2012 DTM season. A host of celebrities in Hockenheim. And the highlights from qualifying at the race. This is what the winners will see after the race on Sunday, naturally watched by a capacity crowd. But regardless of whether it's Jamie Green, Gary Pafford or Bruno Spengler, the motorsport director of the top constructor will mount this podium. And we have every reason to hope it'll be Dr. Wolfgang Ullrich, because after the last race in Valencia, Audi lead Mercedes in the standings by 31 points. And Audi's pace was evident here in free practice. So, all in all, it's been a successful season for the Ingolstadt teams. Here's a selection of the highlights. Ahead of the 2012 finale in Hockenheim, it's been a DTM season with highs and lows for these 8 drivers and everyone else involved. But there's no doubting that Audi responded to the new regulations by constructing a very, very quick car, and 8 of them too, the Audi A5 DTM. And right here in Hockenheim, the season started in April with a highlight. The new car proves a good car. Matthias Ekstrom immediately claimed pole. It wasn't quite enough for victory, but the first race brought a first podium finish, the Swede in 3rd. In the 4th race of the season, an Italian hit the gas and hit the highs. Edoardo Mortaro on his way up, and back on the ground a little later, on his way round. Spielberg in Austria. Definitely Mortaro's perfect weekend. Pole position and a Leicester flag win. A maiden victory for Team Rosberg and for the new Audi A5 DTM. Things are looking up. The Norris Ring in Nuremberg. Bags of tradition and Audi traditionally quick. The plan is to attack, but the competition declined to cooperate. Matthias Ekstrom, the quickest man of the weekend, fell victim to a typical chain reaction and failed to survive the first turn. Only Mike Rockenfeller scored points for Audi, finishing 5th. The DTM show in rain-swept Munich, a monsoon, a perfect tidal wave. No problem for 2-time DTM champion Matthias Ekstrom. The Swede was the best of the surfers and won the event. No points, but a boost after a mixed first half of the season. The Nürburgring. Audi highly motivated for the start of the second half of the season in the Eifel. 3 cars in the first 2 rows. The plan was to tame the infamous track and the competition. It didn't quite work out, but with 4 drivers in the top 10 and Edoardo Mortaro as runner-up, the attack plan began to pay off. Zandvoort in the Netherlands, and history in the making. After qualifying, it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for Audi. For the first time in DTM history, one constructor supplied the top 5 cars on the grid. In the race, teammates became rivals. Mortaro reels in Rockenfeller at the death and wins. And with Matthias Ekstrom 3rd, it was a podium lockout for Audi. Last exit, Valencia, the constructors' title at stake. Audi with every chance of claiming the crown. Once again, the Ingolstadt racers showed that team spirit helps you hit your target. Because the race in Spain sent Audi to the top of the charts, and youngster Adrian Tombe finished on the podium for the first time in his DTM career. And now the finale in Hockenheim. Audi dominant in free practice. It's looking good for the constructors' title. Let's continue our interactive tour here in the TV commentary box. This is the talkback to communicate with the OB truck. This is the main TV signal, and that's the race signal. And the commentators have hung up a diagram of the Hockenheim ring with the turns carefully marked, illustrating the lap distance of 4.547 kilometers in the 42-lap race. And on the far right, we see the timing screen. That's important for the race, but especially in qualifying, where hundredths can make the difference in the fight for places on the grid. Let's see what happened. The final qualifying contest of 2012. Can Audi maintain their good form from free practice? As always, the battle for pole comprises 4 segments. Naturally, all eyes were on the head-to-head for the driver's title between Gary Paffett and Bruno Spengler. The pair dealt with the first hurdle in lockstep. Audi made sure of a touch of tension, as we can see from Hans-Jürgen Abt, because with the exception of Miguel Molina, everyone made it to Q2 with a late dash. Timo Scheider and, for the second time, Rahel Frey in the top 16. Q2 was almost a carbon copy of the first segment, as it again went to the wire. Spengler and Paffett effortlessly made it through, but that sadly wasn't the case for Tambay, Frey and Rockenfeller. The trio knocked out. Eduardo Mortara threw caution to the wind and pushed his Audi A5 DTM to the limit. It ended like this. A long jump, like ski jumping on 4 wheels. High jumping rather than long jumping, very high jumping in fact, is the hallmark of the Audi guests. Now talking to Andreas Spellig. Live from qualifying, 3 Olympic heroes, Raphael Holtstepper, Britta Heidemann and Björn Otto. How are you enjoying qualifying live from the pit lane? Breathtaking. It's my first time at the DTM. I've only ever seen it on TV. Seeing it live is definitely different. Britta, no one will forget your semi-final at the Olympics. Nerve-tingling stuff. Do you sense the tension here at the racing? I've actually been a couple of times already. I saw Edo in China. I got my race license a few weeks ago. I'm thrilled to be here again. It's fantastic. That was going to be my next question. Björn, have you already ridden in the race taxi? No, but we're doing it later. I'm looking forward to it. Britta has acquired a competition license. Many sports people have a go at racing. Might you do that? Definitely, I wouldn't say no. You're here as guests of Audi. Do you have a special favourite? I'm supporting Audi, of course, but I don't have a particular favourite. You? Edo, like I said, and I also know Mike Rockenfeller, so I'm specially rooting for them. They're both lovely lads. Thanks and enjoy qualifying. And here's Q3 with the 10 quickest drivers chasing places in the 4-way shootout for pole. 3 Audi A5s in the hunt. However, with the exception of Matthias Ekstrom, they were unable to build on the speed in practice. Timo Scheider starts from 8th and Eduardo Mortara from 9th. But Ekstrom made it to the top 4, where he took on Augusto Farfus and title contenders Paffett and Spengler. Timo Scheider and Jamie Green watched the shootout, where the top 4 post 1 flying lap in turn. Ekstrom to go first, but he has reduced grip due to a second flying lap in Q3. 1 minute 34.627 is quick, but will it be quick enough? Gary Paffett up next, the championship leader, faster than Ekstrom. Then Canadian Bruno Spengler. He's second in the standings and was slower than the Brit. Last up, Augusto Farfus, and the Brazilian claims his second pole of the season. Matthias Ekstrom is Audi's best driver. Andreas Spellig asks the Audi Sport boss for his views. Our tour of Hockenheim continues with a post-qualifying pit walk alongside Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich. Are you slightly disappointed with Ekstrom's 4th place? Not with Matthias's performance. I'm disappointed we couldn't build on our good team performance in free practice. We've not carried our momentum into qualifying. And obviously it's disappointing that only Matthias made it into the top 4 when we've almost always had 5 or 6 cars in the top 10. We have to analyse why this is. It was probably the tyre pressures again, but we'll have to look and see. That was the final qualifying of the season, so we can legitimately sum up. Looking at events so far, would you agree it's been a season of 2 halves for Audi? Definitely. We've had significantly better results in the second half of the season than in the first. We've certainly improved, but we're still not where we want to be. However, you have a very good chance in the Constructors' standings, and still do after today's qualifying. We're top of the Constructors' Championship at the moment, and that's obviously our target. Today's qualifying hasn't particularly helped, but we'll battle away in the race and see if we can stay top of the standings. Let's hope so. Many thanks, Dr. Wolfgang Ulrich. Another look over the results from the final qualifying in 2012. Augusto Farfus on pole, followed by the two title contenders, Ekstrom 4th, Scheider 8th, Mortara 9th and Albuquerque 11th. Who will win what in 2012? We'll have the answer in a moment. A frequent and welcome guest for Audi and the DTM, Moritz Bleibtreu. Why do you like motor racing? I don't race, but I just enjoy driving in my daily life. Working with Audi meant I first experienced the DTM around 7 years ago. I really enjoyed it, and I always look forward to what comes next, the race taxi. Your colleague Richie Müller goes racing, might you? I don't know. I have huge respect. I'm certainly not a bad driver, but you have to look at what they get up to here, so I don't know. You also have to invest lots of time, money and passion. I really respect that, so it's better if I have a supporting role. Audi could win the Constructors' title, but who will finish as champion, Spengler or Paffett? I'm supporting Mercedes, although I do hope Audi win the Constructors' Championship. Super, let's wait and see. Thank you, Moritz, and here are the highlights. But first, the night before the race, or rather the party, the Audi VIP Lounge played host to smiling party people gearing up for Sunday. They were also there to watch and listen to Sarah Connor. The 32-year-old pop and soul singer went down a storm on a successful DTM Saturday. A crowd of 128,000 flocked to Hockenheim for the finale, Audi chasing the Constructors' crown. On pole to the right, Augusto Farfus, Gary Paffett and Bruno Spengler right behind, Matthias Ekstrom in 4th. A perfect start for Spengler in the black BMW. Paffett loses a place. It's tight in turn 1, Hand and Ekstrom run wide. Gary Paffett soon seized his chance and moved up to 3rd, with Ekstrom and Hand coming together again. Canadian Spengler takes the lead on lap 1, and Paffett starts reeling in his big rival in the championship. Excitement for BMW, a chance of the championship in their comeback season. The first round of stops, and the championship leader toughs it out with Farfus. The Mercedes man comes off best. And that's a diffuser from Ralf Schumacher's car. Molina takes it full on. While these two duke it out for the title, Audi suffered a string of retirements, including 4th place Matthias Ekstrom, the Constructors' title slipping out of range. Spengler and Paffett fight for the prize right to the line, a nerve-shredding finale with a happy end for Spengler and BMW. Paffett's partner senses the game is up. After 42 laps, it's victory to the newcomers, who take first place in all 3 contests, the Drivers', Team and Constructors' Championships. Many congratulations. Eduardo Mortara, the best Audi driver, in 6th. Among the constructors, Audi came 2nd behind BMW, but ahead of Mercedes, not quite as good as hoped. I'm definitely disappointed. The 3 fastest cars from this morning's warm-up all retired after 8 or 9 laps, and that hurts. But a good weekend always starts with a good grid, and that means a good qualifying result. We weren't able to achieve what we set out to do. Our performance was good this morning, but we couldn't carry it over into the race. The final classification. Bruno Spengler is the champion by 4 points. Gary Paffett again 2nd. The best Audi driver is Mike Rockenfeller in 4th, ahead of Mortara and Ekstrom. Champagne for the champion. Congratulations to Bruno Spengler and BMW. A superb performance. It was a fantastic season, even if the finale didn't quite go according to plan. But just look at the thousands of fans, and plenty of Audi flags too. Obviously, that's the challenge for Audi, and I can promise you this, Audi will go on the attack in 2013. So join us again next season on Audi TV and at the DTM. Have a good winter and take care.
Ihnen einen guten Winter. Machen Sie es gut.